full of stories. He is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy.
Well, hello, everybody. Hey, happy Easter. Hey, put your rabbit ears on or adjust them so that you can tune this in a little better. Whatever it takes. Okay, I'm going to shout out these folks that have been over in the chat, a few folks. We got Alexander from Old Country, homesteading, popped in first. Yeah. Great to see you, Alexander. And there's Mary Jones. Mary, it's been a while. It's great to see you, girl. Awesome. And we got Travis with Tales of a Campground Host. He's down in the basement. We're going to pull him up real quick here. And now we got Metal Music Maniac. There he is. How's it going, Harry? Good to see you. And Kathy Gahan. Hi, sweetie. There's J-Ron. Yeah. Hoping everybody had a Merry Easter. And Old Man River 105. Awesome. It's great to see you there, bud. Justin Anderson. Yes, sir. Saying hello to everybody. And there's my brother-in-law, Freeman James. Awesome. Good to see you. I got a good update for you there, brother. Yeah, make sure sis hears it too. So, it's hey, love you too, Mary. So Sty's in a really good mood tonight. He's feeling really good. So we're gonna have us a good time for an hour or two. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull these folks out of the basement. We got another fella that popped in down there. I got Running Water. I got Travis with Tales of Campground Host, and then you'll never guess who else I got down there. I ain't gonna even mention it until I pull them up. Okay, there's Running Water, Driving Water.
Evening, y'all.
Pounding down the road. It looks like it's still daylight there.
Oh yeah, I'm out north of Columbus, Ohio.
I guess it is kind of still daylight out. Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, you can have it. I don't like Ohio. I stay out of Ohio. Every time I've been in Ohio, I've gotten pulled over. I hate that state. I hate that. Yeah, I don't drive in that state. I let somebody else drive. I'll ride. And if the cops pull you over, keep your mouth shut. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're out to get you. Hey, we got this other fella in the basement. I'll pull him up. There's Travis.
Hey, everybody.
There's the campground hostess with the mostest.
I don't know, Sty. I may have to try and make sure I remember to take 100,000 pictures of that project that we were talking about before things got started.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a big project. We'll get into that. We'll talk about your project a little bit here. Yeah. And now we got this fella. He's going to be proud of me. This fella. There he is. There's Phil. Everything spicy.
What's up, guys?
It is so good to see you, man.
It's
been a long week. I've missed you guys so much, man. I have not been online this week at all. So whatever you did this week, Travis already asked me, he says, you see the little 15-second video I threw up, And I said, no, I haven't seen nothing.
I thought for sure you would have laughed at it.
Well, if I had seen it, I probably would have. So, Phil, what have you been up to this week?
Nothing. I'm just, bro, I am seriously, my YouTube things are down. My count's down. My, everything. I've been working. I'm doing everything I can with this car shortage or this everything going on to make every dime I can. I mean, dude, I got to retire in like 10 plus years.
10 plus years, he says. Yeah,
I know that feeling. I kind of
ain't that a bitch?
I got to retire.
I don't want to be one of these guys that has a heart attack at his freaking death selling cars one day.
Yeah, no shit. That's
no way to live your life.
I tell you what, but to me right now, when you say 10 years, that's like, I got 364 in a wake up.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'll be 54 next month, and I figure 65 about time they start so pension or Social Security or whatever.
Yeah,
that's about the time to call it quits unless you just can't.
And I'm hoping, I'm praying for you, man, that everything, everything's in the works, that at that stage that you're able to just say, good, I'm done. I just do what I want, not what I don't have to do what someone else tells me to do anymore. I just, everything I do.
Ever since the beginning, and I've been in my jobs, I've always put money into 401ks. So we've got a little something there. I mean, it's not based on my job and what I see of retired people and what they say they bring home a year based off of their retirement. It's nothing like any of them people have got. But I think, we've got enough that, especially 10 years from now, when we're at 10 years from now.
Yeah.
That we're going to be able to dial back on some of our expenditures. So obviously won't be going to work, won't be doing those things, have those expenditures and things like that. And I think we'll be all right,
Yeah. I had an uncle that Running Water remembers that Uncle Buddy. When he retired, that poor SOB, his wife, when she passed away, I never seen Buddy so happy.
Oh, no.
When she passed away. Well, I shouldn't say happy, just kind of relieved. And all of a sudden his whole life opened up and changed because she was so restrictive, this woman, but he was an executive for the Detroit airport. He was making $98 an hour. $98 an hour, my God. Can you imagine what his retirement was? It was huge. He had about $1.3 million when he retired. And within 4 years of his retirement, he was broke. Not because he pissed it away, because he found a woman.
Oh, no.
And that woman and her daughter hopped a flight to Vegas one day, and they blew all his money.
Wow.
Literally blew over $1 million. And, when he told me about it, I said, oh, buddy, man, God, you're pushing to have her executed, right, for that, right? he says, I'm getting through it. She's being charged with, a theft, grand theft, and blah, blah, blah. And he said, but whatever the outcome is, none of that money's ever coming back. She pissed it away gambling and buying her friends rooms that were $1,800 a night and blah, 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 living high on the hog, having a blast for about a month with his money. And he didn't realize that she was ripping him off. They're doing that, And I said, but all that money's gone. He said, well, I only get about $12,000 a month in retirement, so I think I'll be all. He says, I think I'll be all right.
Only.
I said, you son of a bitch, $12,000 retirement. She couldn't touch his retirement money. So I said, boy, I wish I could suffer like you,
Right.
But that old boy, right after that, he was diagnosed with colon cancer, and they removed a part of his colon and blah, blah, blah. And he recovered from it. They cured him. And he was in his late 60s at the time. He lived to be in his late 80s. And you know how he passed away? He was out splitting firewood. That's how healthy this guy was. He's out there splitting firewood, and he's climbing on this wood pile, and he tripped, and he fell, and the side of his face hit a piece of firewood that was standing up and broke his neck.
Mm.
I mean, talk about going quick. And I don't know. So I'm a little nervous when I'm splitting firewood. I really look where those pieces are.
Come out of nowhere and clobber you.
Yeah, that's it. One of them's out there to break your neck.
I've only fallen off.
I got to shout a couple of people that popped in here while we were chatting. Me Devil showed up. Hey, great to see you, Me Devil. And Kimberly Ferris. Ha. Great to see ya. Yeah. Great folks. But I think you can tell I'm in pretty high spirits tonight.
Sound like it.
Certainly are.
Guess what? When I was released from the hospital a couple weeks ago, I weighed 141.2 pounds. I weighed myself this morning 152.8 pounds.
Fat ass.
Yeah. My God, man, I put 12 pounds on in 2 weeks. I'm eating. You'd be proud of me, Phil. Guess what I had this morning? I had 4 jumbo-sized scrambled eggs.
Oh, no, don't go for showing your wealth here, Sty. You know
right
now?
Yeah.
Not hear me out. 4 jumbo-sized scrambled eggs with taco seasoned meat, mix it with them, smothered in salsa with a dab of sour cream on top. Filled the whole dinner plate, man. I ate that whole freaking thing for breakfast. Lunchtime, I had a big ass bowl of loaded potatoes, baked potato soup. Real hearty with bacon and the like in it. I can't wait till after this stream because I'm having teriyaki chicken and rice. Oh, shit. All I do is eat. I buy these 12 packs of yogurts. I eat 8 of them frickin' yogurts every day in between my meals as snacks. I eat 2 big bananas every day. I eat ice cream. I'm oh shit, yeah. I'm pounding it on, man. But hey, JCT, sweetie. Hi. Oh, she's just jumping in
out,
there.
Me Dibble.
The what?
Me Dibble said you're pigging out.
Yeah, you're doggone right. Right.
He did say his leg weighs more than you, though.
Yeah, true. I think most people are pretty close to that with me. But Yeah, me devil. I'm trying to build it up as fast as I can because next week, this coming week, I've got a busy week. The following week, I start my treatments, radiation and chemo every day of the week, 5 days a week for the next 23 days. So I won't be eating much during that spell. So I'm trying to put as much on as I can so I got something to burn, right? Right. Even if it makes me feel sick, I'm going to force myself to eat. But here's the thing. Next week, why is next week busy? Tomorrow, I have a doctor's appointment. They told me to plan on 2 hours. And it'll take 2 hours. They're going to fill me in on every possible thing. And they got to go through the whole diagnosis thing and everything because I got my PET scan done. I'll tell you about that later after the Sty story. But they got the PET scan and they're looking it over to see if that cancer has spread anywhere. If it hasn't spread any further than they think it had, where it is, everything will be targeted right to that spot. They said, if I'm fortunate enough that it's isolated to my esophagus and the one lymph node, they said they could only find one lymph node with any signs that they're not comfortable with. Those will get removed the first or second week of June. They'll actually be surgically removed. But so they got a lot to talk to me about. If it's spread at all, then they got to do a full body treatment, not a targeted treatment. And that's going to be harder yet on me. But so I got a kind of a week. Next week is I got kind of a reprieve. So I got a chance to eat. I'm going to take advantage of it. But on Wednesday, I have to go back in the hospital. There probably won't be a Thursday around the campfire again this week. Thursdays are going to be really tough because with the treatments, they said by Thursday you're going to be feeling pretty sick. They said Sundays will be your best day of the week. I said that, okay, cool. That lets me get on here, you know. But Wednesday I have to go back into the hospital. And they have to go back down, the oncologist has to go back down and remove that stent they put in that made it able for me to eat and put a new one in because the one I've got in there migrated. It's moving towards the stomach. And they said, it's too small. They said, we can put a larger one in and your esophagus will just about be exactly the size it's supposed to be when we put that new stent in. They said, you'll be able to eat that much more. I said, yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I can chow down. Yeah, I'm good with that. So it's an outpatient procedure. 2 hour, they said it's about a 2 hour procedure. They've knocked me out and spent about 2 hours down in there doing shit. And they said about a 45-minute to an hour recovery, and I'm the heck out of Dodge, and I'm back home. I actually feel like I've got some motivation and some ambition today. I did some house cleaning, and I took a walk to the end of the block and back, walked the length of a city block a couple of times, and feeling pretty doggone good today. Hope it's not a honeymoon effect, but I'm hoping tomorrow will be just as happy as today, But that's why I'm feeling so good. I can drink things. I mean, I drinking coffee again. I haven't drank coffee for 2 weeks. But yeah, I can swallow. Oh my Lord, yeah. So for Sty, it's been a good day. It's been a very good day. Me Dibble's looking after himself a little bit more, cutting down on the coffee.
Yeah, I can't imagine all that time you're going through not being able to swallow. Man, that'd have been.
Oh,
I mean, I don't want to sound weird about. I'd have definitely been to the doctor a lot sooner if I was having difficulty swallowing.
see, when it started last June, last year, when the symptoms started, I was adjusting my diet to things that I could swallow, but it was still enough volume that, it felt like I was eating. And it wasn't until about the end of August where it was frustrating, or I just couldn't get enough in me, and then the fact that I lost the urge to eat, I didn't have an appetite, so it didn't bother me. Um, if I would have had an appetite, it would have drove me nuts. It would have drove me nuts. But now, holy shit, you talk about appetite. Telling you what I'm going to have after the stream, I'm like, oh fuck you guys. You guys talk. I'm going to go fix it now. I got, I want to eat constantly, man. I want to eat. I'm staying away from the candy because my blood sugars have been so high. But I can tell you quick about that PET scan thing. Last week was a bitch, boy. I tell you. Other than being able to eat, last week was a bummer, man. It was a bummer. I had an appointment to have a PET scan done last Monday. I had to drive an hour to where that was going to be done. I left here, checked my blood sugar, and my blood sugars were below 200, so I took off. I got there. They get me all set up, and it's a pretty neat unit. It's a mobile unit with this big X-ray machine in it. And they get me all through the registration and crap and get me out in that big old trailer. It's space age as hell, this thing. It's awesome. It's an awesome machine. But I'm in this big trailer, and they got me in the chair, and they test my blood sugar. And they go, oh, my God, man, we can't do you today. I go, say what? I just drove an hour here, and you're telling me you ain't going to do this? They said, no, your blood sugar is 310. I said, how the hell is that possible? It was under 200 before I left home. And they said, we don't know, we're not diabetic doctors, We just know that we can't test you if you're over 200. So they turned me around and sent my ass home. Well, the cancer center then called me and they said, all right, we're going to try this again if you're up to it. And I said, oh, well, I don't give a shit if I got to take a flight somewhere. I got to get this thing done. And they said, well, it's almost a flight. They said, Rice Lake, Wisconsin.
That's a hike.
A mobile unit will be in Rice Lake at the Marshfield Hospital. I said, that's 2 hours from here. I said, that's 107 miles, man. And they said, yeah, that's a bummer, eh? They said, but that's the closest we can get you and still get it done in this week. And they said, and your appointment is for Thursday. And I said, okay, let's go for it. I said, but God almighty, it's going to cost me $60 in gas. It cost me $40 in gas just to go to that first one I got turned around from. I ain't driving no 4+ hours to be turned around, that's bullshit. And they said, well, we'll help you out. They gave me $100 worth of gas at Quick Trip, which is sweet. I mean, the cancer center did that. They said, hey, we'll help you out. Here's a couple of gift cards at Quick Trip, $50 a piece from the cancer center. I said, okay, cool. So I took off an hour early on Thursday. I got down there, and I had checked my blood sugar before I left. It was 180 plus. And I said, cool, it's under 200. Get the hell out of here. And I was so anxious about this. I said, oh shit, I'm not sitting around here thumb up my butt. I'm hitting the road. So I left an hour early. I get down there an hour before check-in, and I tested my blood sugar again. 287. Oh, you talk about one pissed off old boy. I'm going to have to turn around and go home, man. They're not going to test me. There's no way in hell. So I went in and told them I'm going to have to cancel the appointment. And they said, because your blood sugar is too high. I said, yeah. And they said, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a technician come out and talk to you. She'll be right out. She comes out with her assistant, and each of them are carrying 2 bottles of water. And they're handing them to me, and they said, stick one in each pocket and drink one while we're talking. And I'm drinking this water, and they're telling me what you're going to be doing for the next hour is you're going to walk this whole hospital, and you're going to walk it for that hour. Every once in a while, go ahead, take a break, just sit down and relax. Don't stress yourself out, but walk constantly. And maybe we can get your blood sugar down. I said, we'll see. Well, I did what they told me to. They come out 5 minutes before my appointment time. And they said, let's check that blood sugar. They tested it. It was 217. So it went from 187 or 287 down to 217. She says, I go, son of a bitch. I was pissed. You know? And she goes, you just wait a second. I'll be right back. She run off. She comes back out and she goes, I just called the doctor. And the doctor says, grab them while you can. Do it. Do it right now. He said 220 is definitely our threshold. There's
That's the
no,
hard no.
they said that's the hard line right there. If he's over 220, we won't do it. He's 217. Do him. Thank God they got it done. They managed to do the whole scan, and it worked. See, the nuclear particles they put in that it's a sugar-based IV. That's why they got to have your blood sugars lower than 200, so that because it's going to jack your sugars up, you know. But they got it done. And they got good images. So tomorrow I get to find out the total results, whether my cancer is isolated or if it's spread through my body. You know, if they don't find any in other organs, they said from the prior scans, there's no evidence of it spreading. But this one is more definitive, you know, it's a lot more detailed. So tomorrow is a good or bad news day. We'll find out. And I got a gut feeling, though, if it was bad news, they would have called me on Friday, because they gave me a copy of that scan and I hand delivered it right to the cancer center. They called me on Friday and they said, we got to thank you for bringing that to us. Otherwise, they wouldn't have seen it until tomorrow. So they had it all day Friday. And they called me Friday afternoon and they said, oh, we want to thank you so much for getting it to us. We were able to go through it and review it. And the doctor, the whole team all got together and they said, we're looking forward to seeing you Monday. And just saying we're looking forward to seeing you Monday kind of gave me a little bit of hope, you know.
A glimmer of hope.
So I'm feeling good. Very positive. Hello, Mr. Bolton. What's my favorite Easter candy? Reese's peanut butter eggs.
Good choice.
Yep. And hey, Killer Creations 2020. Great to see you. But yeah, so more positive than negative for me, though, even with all the hassles of last week. Looking forward to getting this week out from underneath my belt. The doctor's appointment tomorrow is not, it's a little stressful thinking about, well, what are they going to tell me? But not a big deal. Wednesday's procedure, it's not going to bother me. I said, this is a put you out kind of deal. They said, oh, yeah, you're going to go night-night for a couple hours. I said, good.
Now.
I'm good. Let's do her. Anytime you're going to put me in la la land, I'm happy with it. Yeah. I handle anesthesia so well. The a lot of times the anesthesiologist will say, we usually don't have people so excited to be put under like you are. I said, oh yeah, because if I croak during the process, hell, I don't know. I said, yeah, if I'm knocked out when that shit happens, you couldn't ask for a better way to go, you know. I said, I'd like to have one of you anesthesiologists living in my house. And if I'm going, oh, this is the big one, it's like, hey, buddy, shoot me with something. Yeah. You know. Yeah, put me under for a while. For the long while.
Yeah.
So, I hate it.
Right.
I stole the stage, caught you guys all up.
That's all right.
It's time for the Sty Story. And I like this Sty Story.
Here.
I was glad that this one came out of the hat. I pulled it out of the hat this morning, and I'm going, oh, yeah, because I like reminiscing about this. Before I jump into it, I'm going to say hello to B Wizzle, saying happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, you'll catch up someday, B Wizzle. You'll catch up. Yeah. Okay, let's get this story out of the way. Okay, dokie. Here's a Sty story for you tonight. One-legged wonder. I tell you what, he was a one-legged wonder, all right. Now, we'll turn the clock back. It was this incident that I'm going to talk about happened in 1970. I was 13 years old at the time. There's a little bit of a front story to it. Now, my mother worked for this nursing home, right? And she worked for that nursing home from like 1949 on until the 1980s. She worked for them forever. And this nursing home, this original nursing home, was called Twin Birch because it had these two big, beautiful birch trees out front of it. And that nursing home sat on like a main highway that went through our town. And what it was a huge house, right? And I'm talking huge house. That house had 14 bedrooms in it. That thing was huge. And they turned it into a nursing home. Well, growing up, my pop was the chief of police, and he always worked nights. You know, he worked the graveyard usually, the bar hours and all that. Well, my mother worked 11 to 7 at the nursing home, 11 at night till 7 in the morning. So she would take me with her to work. Well, they had a big front wraparound porch on this place, and they had these big sofas out there, comfortable couches out on that porch. And it was a heated porch, and it had, in the summer, you could open the glass windows. It was all screened in. You get a nice breeze there. And she'd take me to work as a little kid. I only remember from when I was about 5 years old being there on. But I guess as a baby, she would take me. And the porch was pretty much so mine. I mean, I slept out on the porch till Pop would come at 7 o'clock in the morning to pick me and Ma up and haul us home. And so everybody in that nursing home, I saw so many people come and go, Well, this one-legged wonder lived at the nursing home. After my pop passed away when I was 12, I wasn't going to that nursing home after I was 8 years old, but I would every once in a while tag along with my mom during the off season when I wasn't in school or on a weekend, and I'd hang out at the nursing home for a night. Because I liked them old folks. They were great. I mean, some of them were just so damn interesting, Well, after my pop passed away, and I had quit going to the nursing home with my mother, I would stop in there just to visit some of these old crones, And I was 13 years old, and I went to the nursing home and just to visit with some of the old folks there that I knew. And there was this new fella. And I asked one of the nurse's aides, I said, "Who's that old guy?" And she said, "Oh, that's Charles." And they said, "Whatever you do, don't call him Charlie. He'll have a fit and it'll take us forever to calm his ass down. He goes ballistic when someone calls him Charlie." He said only his friends can call him Charlie. And none of us are his friends as far as he's concerned. I said, okay. And she told me, she said, if you introduce yourself to him, just be ready because he's very, very mean and ornery. Just be ready to hear a bit from him because he's not a nice guy. And she said, whatever you do, don't say anything about his wooden leg. I go, what? Say what? She said, oh yeah, you don't want to talk about his wooden leg. No, don't go there. And she leans over to me and she says, one word of advice, don't let him know that Betty's your mother. I go, really? And she said, no. Betty's his nemesis. You don't want to mention her. I wandered over by this guy and he's sitting there all by himself in this comfy chair. There's a chair next to him. I sat down. I'm just looking at him, not saying nothing. And he goes, well, if you got something to say it. And I said, well, hello. I mean, what the hell else am I going to say? And he goes, you don't know who I am. I said, you're Charlie. That screwed up right away. You're Charlie. He looked at me and he goes, we're going to find out if you can call me Charlie or not. And we're going to find out right away. Boy, he started giving me the riot act. Boy, he was just tearing into me. And after about a half hour of him ripping into me about, I ain't good enough to call him Charlie and on, all of a sudden, out of the blue, he looks at me and he goes, because I just sat there and took it. He looks at me and he goes, I've changed my mind. He says, you can call me Charlie. You can call me Charlie. I said, well, that's cool, Charlie. That's cool. I said, I heard not too many people get to call you Charlie. He says, let's put it this way. For the rest of my lifetime, you're probably the only one that's ever going to call me Charlie and get away with it. And I did find out. I don't think he had any friends. I don't think he had a single friend except me. I could call him Charlie all day. Anybody else said Charlie, and holy God, they were kidding. He has a fit. You call me Charles. You say yes sir, no sir, or call me Charles. Okay, you old mean old fart, But I found out he wasn't as mean as people thought he really was. Nursing homes, a lot of people go there to pass away. They're going to spend the next year or two in there and they're going to pass away. When somebody was passing away, they were on their last leg, their last few days, old Charlie would go to their room and he'd bide his time with them until they passed. He'd sit there. He had lost his leg in World War II. And he'd sit there and he'd tell them stories about that era of the 1940s. How when he was in Hawaii, how he loved hanging out at the bars in Hawaii. He would talk about Pearl Harbor. But everything he talked about, he always put a positive twist on for these people that were passing away. So I guess this mean, ornery, terrible guy that everybody saw, they weren't seeing, the benefit of having him there. because he made the passing of a lot of people a lot easier, you know. But there was something special about Charlie. He liked to imbibe. Boy, did he like to drink. But he didn't see that nursing home had a policy. You could have one drink a day. They had social hour after dinner. You could have a beer or you could have a mixed drink once a day. Charlie said, that's BS. He says, that means I get 7 drinks a week. He says, what I want is one day with 7 drinks. And the hell with your everyday thing. Just give me one day with 7 good, strong drinks and I'll be happy. Well, they couldn't do that. That's against their policy. Well, old Charlie, he got smart. And they really kept track of all these residents in that place. You're not allowed to leave the building. You can go out on the porch. You can go out in the front yard where they had chairs and the like. But you can't leave the property. No. Old Charlie, he had it figured out how to escape. He'd start a ruckus way down at the one end of the place. And all the nurses' aides and all the staff would run down there. And now if he'd go to the other end, sneak out a side door, and off he'd go. Well, it's about 4 or 5 miles to the next town. He knew not to stay in the town where we were at. He was heading for the next town, about 4 or 5 miles out. Well, he'd get out on that damn highway, get his thumb out there right away. He's out there with that wooden leg, hobbling down that road, thumbing. People, oh, look at the old guy with the wooden leg, we'll help him out. They'll pull over and help him out. He says if they don't pull over, he says, I just pulled the pant leg. It was his right leg that he lost. He pulled his pant leg up, and they'd see he's got that prosthetic leg. And they'd zip right over, pick him up. Where are you going? Going over the mound. Oh, okay, then we're heading that way. Whereabouts? We'll drop you right off the front door. Liquor store. Well, found out that old Charlie was smart. He knew he couldn't go to the bars in that town. He couldn't go to the bars in our town. He couldn't go to the bars in that town because all of those bars were contacted by the administration of the nursing home and told, if Charlie walks in the door, call us right away and we'll send a cop down there to pick him up and haul his ass back here. So he knew he didn't dare walk in the bar. But the liquor store, the guy that owned the liquor store had known Charlie for years. He wouldn't call nobody. So he'd go to the liquor store and get himself a 6-pack and a pint. And he'd go sit down by the lake and he'd sit there and drink his pint and the 6-pack until it was all gone. And then he'd start staggering his ass back to the nursing home. And he said, I don't hitchhike coming back because he says, nobody's going to pick up a one-legged drunk. He says they won't do it. He says you stagger worse than anybody when you only got one good leg. He said, so they ain't going to pick up no one-legged drunk. So I just hobble my butt back and hope I get home before the sun sets. And he says, I usually get home well before dinner. He says, because the cops he says they drive up and down that highway all the time. He says, sure enough, some cop will see me hobbling down the highway and they'll pick me up and haul my butt back. Well, this old boy almost never missed a week. One day a week, he went on that little binge. He'd escape and he'd head out to that liquor store so he could spend the day at the lake drinking his pint and his 6-pack. Well, he knew the cost for himself to do that. And that's why I say he's a one-legged wonder, because this old boy, he had her all figured out and what it was worth to have that one day away and get all buzzed up. Because when they'd haul his butt back to the nursing home, he knew he never hit the rack, never called it a night until about 11:30, midnight. He was the last guy sitting up in the day room watching TV. Well, my mother would come on duty, and she'd see him sitting in that room, all buzzed up. And she'd go, "Oh, so you went out for your walk today, didn't you?" He'd go, "Yeah, I got a ride home with the cops and blah, blah, blah." And she'd say, "Yeah, okay." And he got used to it after the first incident. He knew what was coming. That's why they said I should never let him know Betty was my mother. Because the first time he did that, she helps get him off to his room, right? Gets him all settled and in bed. And he didn't like sleeping with that fake leg on, he wanted that leg off. So she'd help him get his leg off and stand it up by the head of the bed for him for in the morning, right? But then this incident happened. She gets him into bed. He drunker than hell. She gets him in bed, takes his leg off for him, tells him to have a good night. He woke up the next morning about 6:30 in the morning. Well, my mother wasn't off duty yet. And she said, all of a sudden I hear this bellering and hollering and madder than hell character. It's him. She goes to his room and she goes, "Charlie." Now she called him Charlie. And he didn't like it, but he didn't say boo about it because there was something about her he just didn't know if he should be too rough with her. Well, she says, "Charlie, you need to calm down. You're waking the whole place up." And he goes, "Where's my leg? Where's my damn leg? I have to pee." And she said, "There's a urinal right there next to your bed." He goes, "I don't want to use no damn urinal. I want my leg." She says, "You don't get your leg for 2 days. Every day you escape, you lose your leg for 2. She said if she hadn't done that, it would be more than once a week that he'd sneak off. And she said he had it down pat, had it all down pat, where he could sneak off, lose his leg for 2 days, and then he'd be ready to sneak off a couple days after that. He'd behave himself for a couple of days, and then when people don't think, "Oh, yeah, he ain't gonna," sure enough, he'd take off again. And she'd take his damn leg away from him again. Now, you wouldn't get away with that nowadays if you were a nurse's aide, that and the administration of the nursing home, they said what Betty says goes. She basically ran that place. All the staff, they all, whatever Betty says, we do, and it got to the point where if she called Charlie Charles, he'd go, "What did I do? What did I do wrong?" So he ended up with 2 people that he expected to call him Charlie. And I'll tell you what, that old boy, just the fact he lost his leg in the war, in the Great War, and he was willing to hobble down that damn highway with that fake leg. Those legs back then weren't as good as the ones we have today. Cumbersome, heavy. But that old boy, he'd strap his leg on and he'd head up. "I'm out of here." Get his thumb out there. "Pick up this old cripple so I can go to the liquor store, They said that they were afraid he'd be a bad influence on the other residents. The other residents said, let him go, because he's always happy for a couple days after. And they agreed with him. We should be allowed 1 day with 7 drinks or 7 days with 1 drink. It should be our option, And they're saying, "No, it's not good for you," Well, I tell you what, that's the last place you'll be in the rest of your life. What's good or bad for you should be your choice, not somebody else's. And old Charlie, he was determined to have it his way. he's the kind of person that helps build character. And I really appreciated knowing that individual for the years that I did. After that first incident, he lived for about, well, let's see, I was 17 when he passed away. I was 13 when I met him. 4 years after I met him, he passed away. He passed away in his sleep. And my mother said it was pretty unusual that she went in about 5 o'clock in the morning, just doing her rounds, went in, and she said she walked up to his bed and she goes, "Charlie, what are you doing?" He was laying there and he had passed away and she hadn't realized it, and he was hugging his leg. He had taken the leg from the side of his bed and brought it up in his bed, and he was hugging his leg. Wherever he was going at the end, he wanted to make damn sure Betty didn't get his leg. He didn't want to show up at the other end without his leg. And now that old boy, I bet he's walking the liquor store every day and having his 7 a day, a 6-pack and a pint. Yeah. So there you go. There's the story of the one-legged wonder. I hope you enjoyed. So, okay, let's bring the folks back up here on the panel. There we are. So,
oh, Phil, you're making the same rookie mistake I made last week.
what, muting himself?
Yeah, and then talking.
Mm-hmm.
First time on YouTube? Yeah, first time on YouTube. Mhm.
First time on YouTube. Phil, I'd like to welcome you to
Thank you. I appreciate it there, Travis.
Well, you talk about rookie mistakes because I'm not streaming 5 days a week. When I was streaming 5 days a week, my gear is always up, running, ready to go. Just sit down and go, you know? So here, I spent a week totally off the studio desk. I did my taxes last week, but that's it. Otherwise, I haven't sat at this studio, period. Well, do my taxes, that's all this keyboard crap, you know, there's no audio and nothing. You know.
jar of Vaseline sitting next door.
So I fire up today, getting everything started, ready. And I'm like, oh my God, I got no audio. What the hell is wrong? I'm going into settings and I'm telling, yeah, have you got it now? You know, running tests. And nothing. I'm unplugging everything, plugging it all back in, rebooting like 4 or 5 times. And I'm going, oh shit, I can't do this live stream if I can't hear. I got to be able to hear my panel. Doggone it. What am I going to do? Finally, when I was so frustrated and I said, it ain't going to work. I'm going to have to just post a notice and just say, technical problems, man. I can't get any damn audio. Then I realized, oh, I've got powered stereo speaker system here, 2 stereo speakers and a subwoofer and all that. And it's powered. Turn it on. Son of a bitch. That's all I had to do is flick one little switch. Yeah, I got all the audio in the world. But I spent an hour and a half in a panic because I'm like, what the hell is wrong with my system?
It's broken.
It's broken. Yeah.
Technical
Don't
support.
do it every day, right?
Hey, I gotta show something off, man. I gotta show something off. I'm gonna go full screen here just to show this off for a minute. Check these out, man.
NBA.
Yes, sir. Rollin sent me 2 of his stickers, man. I am so thrilled. I love him. He's got great stickers. Thank you, Roland. Thank you if you're watching and listening. He's Sad Song Sunday. I was so mad because I got everything set up and then I went in the other room and 8. I sat there and ate and ate and ate. And then I realized, oh my God, I got to get on here. I got to get the show started. It was about 6:15. And then I realized he was up and running. And I missed his Sad Song Sunday this week. That bums me. Yeah, I never miss. Yeah, me divil. Taxes, what fun. I didn't have to pay any this year, so I'm happy. So,
Yeah, I got a sticker this week.
did you?
Yeah.
Hey, Jan, good to see you.
My buddy B Wizzle.
Awesome. Oh, that's a sweet
Isn't that
sticker,
cool?
Man. That's
Look at that thing. It's
That
like 4
is-
inches by 4 inches. It's huge.
wow.
That's a big
Huge.
sticker.
Yeah.
That is sweet. That is sweet.
And, and apparently I got to play some kind of Pokemon card game because he sent me
A
some.
bunch of Pokemons.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Awesome.
into Pokemon.
But
yeah.
yeah. No,
First edition sticker. Oh yeah, your sticker. Yes.
First edition. Yeah.
Huge.
That is a sweet sticker. Why that is. Yeah, look at John over at Adventures in the Heartland. Wow, I want one of those.
I don't think it's gonna work.
No,
Yeah,
you
you
try to
probably
make
can't
it stick.
see. Yeah, can't get my camera. You're right in the middle of the refrigerator. Your sticker is so big, it's right between mine. It's right there.
Oh, that big square. That
So you can see
what looks like an empty spot.
Bubble Bath, and you can see Mojo, Chatty. Where's your size of my old board? Size sticker. It's been a while since I had a size sticker, but yeah, you're right in the middle.
Do I have to send you a fresh one?
No, I bet I got a size sticker. I can just put a Sty 2.0 there.
You son of a bitch. I'll just put a Sty 2.0 sticker there.
So, James,
You know, who wants your ugly mug on there?
you can see right there, Sty 2.0. He's right there. You can see his top of
No,
his face.
we can't see him.
Right
We
there.
can't see him.
Right
We
there.
can't see him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
You can see there he
No.
is.
There. Now we can see a little bit of the beard. Yeah, yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Sty 2.0.
Always
Hey!
always watching
I
over me.
can't help but notice you still have your beard.
What's up, Moo?
Hey, plain old Chuck, it's great to see you out there, buddy. Hey, talking about beards, there's a good note. Knock on wood again. I mean, both of my doctors. I find out tomorrow for sure. The chemotherapist, he said, we'll talk about it Monday, but he said, I think I got good news for you. The radiologist that does the radiation therapy said, you're not going to have any hair loss from the radiation except on your chest. He says you'll have a small patch. He says it'll be about 3 inches wide and about 4 inches tall. You'll lose the hair on your chest. He says won't affect your head or your beard at all. I said 23 days of radiation ain't going to affect it. He goes, no. He says, I can guarantee you, we're not going to be taking your beard from you. And
Well, that is good news.
he left the room and he was gone for about 10 minutes. He come back in. He goes, just talk to the chemotherapy doc. And he's saying that he thinks he's got good news for you too. He does not. It's going to be targeted chemo. He does not believe it's going to affect your beard or your hair, your head. I said, well, the head, I don't give a shit. I cut that shit off. But I said, the beard, I was going to cut off Saturday. Some of you guys were expecting to see me without a beard tonight. But the Infinite Maw, the white chest hair patch, no, the radiation will burn the hair off, basically, is what will happen. If they have to do full body treatment, that's when you'll lose your head and facial hair and everything, all your hair. I'm just hopeful that tomorrow
So
they'll
far
say,
enough
yeah,
down-
it's going to be targeted.
So is it far enough down here in your esophagus, not up here, but down in here,
Right.
where it's not going to affect? I mean, because again, I think of esophagus, I think of right here, right?
Right
That's
here,
right
yeah.
where
Yeah, you
here
think
it
of
is,
your
right?
you think of your throat. No,
Right.
they're actually where they're going to be targeting me is if you feel your chest, the bottom of your sternum, bottom of your rib cage, you go up about 4 inches. And that's the area from the bottom of my rib cage up about 4 inches.
Huh.
That's the area.
Hmm.
2 to
So
3
you'll
inches
basically
wide.
be looking like a Teletubby.
Yeah, fuck you. That's my boy.
Ass kid.
Oh,
The
Again, hit me with.
you have a
keys
good
again.
night, me Dibble.
good night, me dibble.
The yeah, quite interesting. Another piece of good news was the radiation therapy. He says if you're going to feel any ill effects, side effects, nausea, weakness, or anything like that, he says those effects you're not going to feel for about an hour after the actual treatment. He says it takes about an hour after that treatment for you to start feeling those side effects. And I said, what about the chemo? And he says, talking with your chemo therapist, he said the same thing. It's going to be 45 minutes to an hour before you'll feel any kind of negative effects, but then they'll last for several hours. It could last anywhere from 4 to 12 hours after the fact, but I won't start feeling it for an hour. And I said, does that mean I can drive myself back and forth to the treatments? They said, where do you live? I said, less than 2.5 miles from here. No problem. They said, you can drive yourself to and from your treatments. They said, you will not need transportation. I said, thank God. Did you know? Try to get medical transportation when you're on Medicare. Oh no, ain't happening, man. Ain't happening. I found one place under my prescription plan through Medicare, my Part D, that it would be covered, but they're booked out 2.5 months.
Ouch.
They said, we can't even provide you transportation down the block for the next 2.5 months. And I was trying to find transportation for 60 miles, over 60 miles away to go to the hospital next Wednesday. So my daughter's going to drive almost 4 hours up here, pick me up, take me to the hospital, spend all day at the hospital with me, and then bring my butt back home. I'm going to try to talk her into spending the night and head home the next morning because I don't want her driving that damn much. She'll be on the road for over 8 hours. Well, she'll be on the road 10 hours and 2 hours of waiting for me in the hospital. Almost 3 hours, actually. So
Well, that's gotta be scary though, leaving 14 kids at home to take care of the place.
no, she ships them off to
Oh,
Papa. And well, there's 2 papas involved. She ships them all off to them. And she's got them 2 guys just wrapped around her little finger, man. She just calls and says, you're taking the kids. She doesn't say, can you take the kids? She says, you're taking the kids. Yep. And so she's got it kind of made that way. Hey, Gary, it's good to see you, bud.
That's Thursday. You got to go to the mail, or not mail? Duluth.
Yeah. No.
What-
Yes.
Wednesday.
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 Well, what the heck? I'm going to be on a school bus going to Duluth. It's too bad I can't just get the bus to stop and open the door for you.
right.
Yeah, but you ain't going to want to wait around for 3 hours and pick
Not
me
really.
up.
Is it a short bus?
No, it's not a short bus. We're taking all the juniors on college visits.
Oh, fun.
So
Sty wouldn't feel comfortable on a regular bus, just a short bus.
Is this the bus I take to school?
I'm just hoping I don't have to drive.
You heard that one, didn't you? Little boy, his mom takes him out. It's his first day of school. Takes him out to the end of the driveway for the bus, and she heads back in the house watching him out the window. Here comes the short bus rolling up. Pick that boy up. Doors open. All of a sudden, the doors slam shut, and the bus drives off, leaves the kid standing there. So she decided the next day, she puts him out there, but she's hiding in the bushes at the end of the driveway. Bus pulls up, door opens up, and that kid, he's looking up there, he's smiling, he goes, "Is this the bus I take to school?" Doors slam, and the bus takes off again. She said, "That's the end of that shit, boy." The next day, she's out there with that kid. That bus pulls up, driver opens the door, and that kid says, "Is this the bus I take to school?" And that driver goes to slam the door, and she right away gets her hands in there, and she goes, "Why aren't you taking my kid to school?" He says, "I'm not putting up with anybody making fun of me like that."
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Yeah. There's my
I might
kind
go
of
to
dark,
hell for finding that
my
one.
dark humor for the day.
There you go.
Might be going to hell for laughing at that one.
Yep. Is this the bus I take to school? No.
Yeah, we're going
Not
to
now.
we're going to Superior, WITC, and Northland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Northland.
You know, just up the road from your house.
Yeah, not far. Well,
Throw a
and
football, you could hit it.
and you probably cross paths with my youngest boy up there.
Possibly.
They pretty much so got him running their custodial and maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he does all of the setups and everything for any outside visits and stuff, like the cafeteria and stuff that they specially set up in one of their centers or
I've
anything.
eaten in Northland's cafeteria. That is a nice cafeteria.
Yeah. Boy, my boy's been threatening to find other work, and Northland is just like, no. They said, "You try so hard to get our other people to properly sanitize and clean this place, and if they don't do it, you do." They said, "We haven't anybody willing to do it, that kind of work." So they said, "Well, no, we can't lose you."
Please
And he
stay.
goes, "Here's a little ching, you know."
Yeah, the last time I did one of these, they had a little staff area set up. The kids went off and did their thing, and the teachers went into like the side room, and they had pizza and all sorts of stuff for us in there.
Yeah. It's they've got Northland's got this kind of neat little Native American heritage museum.
Yep, I've seen it.
Hardly anybody ever goes there.
I know, it's such a cool place too.
And my boy said that, he says it's a neat little museum, a lot of information there. The gal that runs it is very informational, and but they don't get anybody. Nobody goes in there to check it out, and it's only open to the public. I think it's one day a week, but otherwise it's open to the students all the time. And he said there's enough information in there you could do your 4 years there and visit it at least once a week, but he says there's never anybody there.
Which is too bad, because it is a cool place.
Yeah. He said he went in there to take the trash out last week, and it hadn't been taken out for almost a week. He said, one little bag. That's all there was. Other departments, it's overflowing every day. Not there. That's a shame. That's too bad. They put a lot of effort into that.
Too.
What's that?
Their library is beautiful too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's some really neat things about that college. I'll tell you what, I found through my career, anytime we needed to hire someone in forestry or a biologist, if they came in and their portfolio, their resume showed that they were a 4-year environmental grad of Northland, nab them right up.
They know their stuff.
Yeah, they've got some of the best environmental programs there that you could ever dream of. Some of them are just floater BS, but I mean they're just rock climbers. Yeah, I got to take that class. I got to be a rock climber. Well, you're going to a 4-year college to become a rock climber? Come on.
My junior year, I think it was, as a father of 3, I had to take a sex education class. I forget exactly what they called it, but it was sex education, and it drove me absolutely nuts.
Especially when you're not getting any.
I had 3 kids.
That's right.
Oh man, that class.
I don't like that. I don't. That's a question I don't like being asked, especially by a doctor. We need to ask, do you have sex? Why, would you like a little? They don't like that response for some reason. I don't know.
Are you offering?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have sex? Well, I could squeeze you in, I guess.
Are you offering? Are you asking?
Yeah.
The day they taught about sexually transmitted diseases just drove me out. I actually walked out of the classroom that day. Me and 3 other parents. We had enough. We walked out because they were talking about how the only way to prevent these diseases is, there is no surefire way, and blah blah blah. And the three parents, 3 of us were all sitting next to each other. We looked at each other and said, "How about not having sex?"
Right. It starts with abstinence. Yeah, you can avoid it. Yes.
Yeah, the 3 of us just got up and walked out, and afterwards the professor came and found us. He's like, "Why'd you leave?"
Yeah, like if you would have added, when you grow up,
yeah,
when you become an adult and you're out on your own, this is the best way to avoid
any.
But right. But in the meantime, the only surefire way is don't even go there, man.
You're telling impressionable college freshmen?
Yeah,
we got condoms available for you in student services and blah, blah.
Oh, now wait a minute. That's one thing I got to say about Northland. I used to work with those guys on some grant writing.
Yeah.
And I go over there and I talk to, especially in the Native American programs and that. And I go over there and in their student services, great big bowls full of rubbers.
Oh, yeah. Man. It's just huge, like big.
Just grab a handful. What the hell? All the free rubbers you want. They were all over at that time, almost everywhere in the college.
Phil's going, what the heck did I just walk into?
Right.
But what pissed me off is they're all lubed and I want the good old fashioned dry ones for bushcrafting,
Right.
But they didn't have any. I dig through that bowl. Nah, they don't have any of the good old fashioned ones. Everything's lubed and yeah.
When I was in Korea, they used to come around with a hat full of them and said, before you go out on liberty, say, here, take a handful.
Yeah, they want to send you out with a pair of gloves,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey.
That class drove me nuts. I hated every single minute of that semester.
One thing, and they don't today because this is what I have seen online and I've heard. that they don't use the same driver's ed movies today that they did when I was in school. But the reasoning behind it is because the vehicles of today are totally different. Because those movies weren't just about driving safely. It's what happens to you in the actual accident.
Right.
And
Highways of blood.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess after looking into it, I get it. We got airbags and the like now. We don't have people getting speared through the chest with a steering column that's solid steel that doesn't budge, doesn't move. It's bolted to the frame of the car. We don't have all solid steel dashboards. And we have seat belts now, where before, and the thing is back in that day, back in the 50s and 60s, when you got in a car accident, many times they were able to drive the car back to wherever it came from. And they hauled the body out in a hearse.
Mm-hmm.
But the car was still operable. I mean, my dad got in a wreck in a 1936 Chevy sedan. He rear-ended a truck. Broke his frickin' neck. It took forever they had him in a halo. It took forever for him to heal up. The only damage to his car was they had to replace the front fender and the headlight on the driver's side. That's all. The bumper was good. Everything else was good. But the impact was so hard that it broke his frickin' neck. And his sternum got cracked from hitting the steering column. But totally different. I mean, yeah. So, but I tell you what, I can remember sitting in that classroom watching those movies, and all of us boys are just like, whoa, his brains is hanging out. And you're looking and all these girls are running and they're puking in their handbags. And then they're freaking out. And all of us guys are going, look at that guy's toasted, man. He looks like a roasted banana. Look at that shit. And these girls are, oh my God, oh, my life has been ruined, And it's, yeah. Infinite Moss, seat belts and steel. Yeah, the two of them don't go to. There's a Sty Story about a 1964 Chevy Impala and me.
Back in the day, your seat belts too were only lap belts. Those are probably more dangerous for you than
snap. I mean, if it don't break you in the middle, your forehead's getting hitting something, man. That it was, the old lap belts were. Yeah. And then half of those lap belts, I don't know if you ever experienced that. I drove a lot of those cars. A lot of those lap belts, if you grabbed it, give it a good yank, they'd come unbuckled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They'd come unbuckled. Or if you hit the wrong bump, boom, snap. Oh, damn seatbelt. God dang, I got it. And they didn't reel back in.
No.
They were just floppy loose, And this is no shit. I was going down this highway in South Dakota. It was just long, flat sucker. And I had a 1960, I believe it was a 67 Oldsmobile, big fucking car. I took the seatbelt and I tied it on around the steering wheel because I was busy eating my lunch. I used the seatbelt to hold the steering wheel in place, and I just kept going down the island. And car tracked really good too. Right, I have to slide the seatbelt a little on the steering wheel every once in a while to keep it. Yeah, it was a 4-lane interstate, So yeah, just as long as they stayed within those 2 lanes, I was cool. Yeah, times have changed.
Well, that's just like you can't find, cars with that, the station wagon back seat facing out the back window.
Facing backward anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm actually good with that. when my dad bought us, he bought us a 1967 Chevy Impala station wagon that had one of those rear-facing seats in the back. We were just so, oh man, family car, man, check out the big wagon. We're ready for vacation. First vacation comes up. He goes, hey, boy, you want to ride in that back seat? Yeah, it's so damn crowded in the car. There's 6 of us. You know? Pops that seat up. I'm sitting back there. You don't want to ride in that son of a bitch. I puked all over myself. Looking backwards out the way, everything's going backwards. It don't take long. You get pretty freaking car sick. Sitting backwards like that for 150, 200 miles. You know, yeah, I puked all over myself. I hated that back seat. Hey, Peppers in Kentucky living. Great to see ya. Jeremy?
Well, you know, that's the best seat because you can get away with stuff back there.
Right?
You know, especially when the car's full up with luggage and everything.
Kiss my ass. I had a 1970 Chevy Impala wagon that was canary yellow. Okay? Ugliest damn family car you ever seen. But it was an Impala. It was a sweet station wagon. It had one of those rear-facing back seats. Asshole, running water back here. He's a freelance artist. He loves to draw. Well, we're taking a trip down to Minneapolis from northern Wisconsin. We're going to go down there for a week. Well, we're heading to Valley Fair, and it's huge. If you've never seen Valley Fair, man, it's like a Six Flags. It's huge. And at that time, boy, it was the cat's ass. Everybody in the world wanted to go to Valley Fair, you know. Well, that was our plans. We loaded up that station wagon with all 6 of us and all this luggage and shit to spend a whole week down in Minneapolis at my mother's place. Well, the roof rack is just covered with luggage, and I got this big stretchy net over the top, all that shit. The car is packed full, and the car's packed full of people. The wife and I up front, 2 kids in the back seat, and then running water, and I don't remember which kid was with him in the far back seat.
Yeah, my brother.
And I'm going down the damn highway on a 4-lane. Cars coming up beside me, and they're looking and they're pointing and they driving by, and I wave at them. They're waving back, and they're all excited, waving back. It's all cool. Yeah. And I thought, boy, these people, they think it's cool that we're going on vacation, man. They must not get to go on vacation or something. So I stopped in Superior, Wisconsin. That's over an hour's drive from home. I stopped to top off the gas tank. I get out and I'm filling up the car, and I happen to look the big, long back window in the station wagon. There's a picture in the window.
Oh, boy.
Of a fucking moose, and it says Wally World or Bust on it. Fucking running water drew that some bitch up while we're going down the road, and he taped it in the goddamn window. I've got everybody pointing and laughing and waving at us.
There goes the Griswolds.
There goes the Griswolds. They're heading to Wally World, man. And that's the way it had to look. I wish I would have had a mannequin, some old lady mannequin that was strapped to the roof, you know. That would have just taken the cake. But yeah, that was hilarious. I should have saved that for a Sty story, damn it. But because it was quite the trip. It was quite the trip.
Bonus story.
Mm-hmm. You guys that are here tonight got a freebie. But yeah, Wally World or Bust. And he did such a good job. I mean, it was the Wally World moose. And he's just, and the moose is waving, you know. And it's just plain as day. Wally World or Bust. Yeah. Well, we made somebody's day at least. Right. You know. People got a good kick out of it. Hey, Step Van Dan. There's one of my Minnesota followers there. Great to see you, Dan. Hey guys, this only takes 1 minute. Don't anybody go anywhere. Stick around. I got to shout out all these great, wonderful people that are sticking it out with me. This channel, knock on wood, is going to go on for years to come. So I got to shout these people out because they're sticking it out with us. Well, there you are. There's a great bunch of folks for you.
I hate to do it, Sty. I got to call it a night.
Yeah, I was thinking I should do the same thing because Stephanie's got to be up at 3:30, and my office is right across the hall from the bedroom.
Boy, aren't we just full of excuses?
Right?
Would you like to bring her in here and you can tell her?
like some of these excuses, like I have a life, I've got a job, I mean, and you expect me to feel bad for you? Now, you're gonna have your time like me someday.
About 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Then I'll have 3 months.
Yeah, mine's are Fridays and Saturday nights. I stay up late, so.
About 6 weeks, Sty. Then you and I can sit up until 2 a.m. as long as I don't run out of internet.
Yeah. Well, it'll be probably 8 weeks before I'm up to it, but yeah,
it gives me a couple weeks to settle in.
Yeah. There you go. And hey, love you, Phil, man.
Have a good night, man.
Thank you for being here, man. I missed you all week.
We'll see. We'll see you during the week sometime, I'm sure. So,
yeah.
I
Depending on how my appointment goes tomorrow, I might pop over if you're doing anything tomorrow night.
have a good night, man. Love you guys.
You too.
Good night, Phil.
We'll see you, buddy. Yep. And Travis, man, you have a good week at school.
Tomorrow, I got tomorrow off yet, so.
Yeah, Easter Monday.
Otherwise, I would have out of here because I would have been getting ready for tomorrow, but I can do that.
I asked my cancer doctors, I said, appointment on Easter Monday? And they said, hey, it could be Easter. It could be Christmas Day, and it wouldn't matter. They said, cancer doesn't have a timeline. They said,
that's true.
They said, we service people 5 days a week, guaranteed, all year. They said, only Saturdays and Sundays. They said, so if Christmas Day lands on one of those 5 days, we have to celebrate it that coming weekend or the weekend before because we don't shut down. I said, oh, okay, I get it. That's cool. It's cool. They said, once we start you, we ain't going to stop, Oh, okay.
You'll have to let me know how that goes tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll have to try to keep you posted there, bud.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So you take care, and we'll talk to you again very soon, I hope.
Sounds good, Sty. Have a good night. Talk to you later, Running Water.
Yep. Later.
Bye.
Oh, Adventures in the Heartland. John, you're looking at getting an old Jeep to cruise around in. I tell you what, I wish I had my old Jeep. I had a 1947 Willys. Oh, I loved that thing, man. I loved it. Never buy one today for what I bought that one for. I paid $600 for it. Man, I loved it. The only thing I didn't like about it, and I would have fixed that if I would have kept it, It was fire engine red. Hey, Robert Rockwell, good to see you. Hello, hello. Step Van Dam said, be right back, need coffee. Doggone right. I feel so good now that I can drink coffee. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there's plenty of coffee around.
Oh, you think? Hey, people, I'm telling you, this guy, I live with running water. Well, I live with them a week at a time, 5 or 6 times a year. That's it. You know, but he's got enough coffee for the two of us. He's got enough coffee here for 2 years. Easy. A household where you're making 4 pots a day, at least a year's worth of coffee. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. That we got so damn much coffee. Oh my God. Hey, there he is. There's Roland. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Oh my God. I love your stickers, man. I love them. I love them to death. Love them to death. Did I ever get any off to you, Roland? If not, let's see, I'll do this. Right here down in the banner below us, there's my email address. If you send me your mailing address, I'll kick a couple stickers off to you, buddy. Yeah, I was just telling folks that I missed your sad song Sunday. Oh man, and I don't do that. I don't miss that. I love it. I love it. And I missed it tonight. You know, this whole health thing with the cancer stuff and all that crap. My mind at times is just not working. Yeah, that is just a kick butt sticker, man. I love it. Chuck bought a brand new 77 CJ5 the week before he got married because he knew he would never get one after the fact. Yeah, those lights going by. Yeah, it looks like shooting stars there, John.
Yeah, all this Easter traffic out here.
Oh my gosh, there, Roland. I'd love to get you a couple stickers, man. Love to get you a couple stickers. That's one thing now that I'm starting after my treatment, and I'm thinking maybe even when I start feeling ill from the radiation and chemotherapy, I'm thinking that's a good time to just sit and jam a little with my Hobro and my dulcimer and pound a little on the mandolin and just for the distraction. And maybe I can get something going on my instruments, man. I love watching Roland, man. I love his talent. He's got such an awesome talent. I talk to people that I know they don't do YouTube. They don't do shit on the internet to speak of, but they've got it, you know. They just don't do a lot. I'll mention that, you know, hey, one place you need to check out is this Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance MBA. Don't let the name fool you. You got to watch the guy, man. He's talented. You'll love it. You'll love it. Oh, you don't have to appreciate me, man. I'm just saying it the way it is, pal. Yeah. You know, I like to call out good when I see good, you know. Oh, John. Yeah, if you guys, if you can work it in kind of like late season, because the month of May and June and the first half of July, this old boy's going to be sicker than a dog. So I'm trying to discourage people from wanting to come and visit during that period in time. They're talking that my surgery will be sometime between the 2nd and 4th week of June. It's hard to say. And when I go through that surgery, they're talking a 1 to 3 week recovery period. Cheesehead Chris, I sure the heck don't appreciate you. Oh, sounds good, John. I'd love to see you and Jan, man. You know how I love your company. I just love this. What a couple, boy! What a couple. Yeah, that's Happy Easter, Cheesehead. They don't make Easter rabbits out of cheese. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. In the fall, I might be up to a hike by then. Yeah, I might be up to a hike up to the rock again. Yeah. Oh yes, they do. They make cheese rabbits. Cheese rabbits. That's the thing, is I gotta stay. My candy jar's 3/4 full, and it's been that way for over 2 weeks. I gotta stay out of that damn thing. My blood sugars are too high. They want them to stay kind of high, but not that high. Yeah. Oh, you saw one in the Dells this weekend, eh? That's kind of funny. That's kind of cool. What was it, like cheddar cheese in the shape of a rabbit or something? That's kind of cool. You'll be wide open, Sty. Just an obstacle to overcome. That's it. That's it for all those that are listening. Never give up the good fight, man. Never give it up. This old boy is determined. I'm ornery. I just asked my boy, aren't I? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like giving up at times. I feel like it, but I just won't let myself, man. I just won't let myself. I'm gonna fight my way through this shit. I'm a firm believer in just fighting it. Just fight the good fight. Curmudgeon-y, yeah. Just being curmudgeon-y. Yeah. As tough as a hickory knot. That's pretty tough. I might be as tough as a hickory nut, but this old boy ain't got ironwood anymore. It's not softwood yet, but it ain't no ironwood. Thanks, James. Hey, buddy. And yes, I plan on hanging in there, man. I'm going to hang in there. And I'm hoping late this summer to get down there and see you and Sis. I'm putting a little ching aside So I go down there, get myself a room. Right, there's a nice motel right there, hotel. Um, just, I mean, 5 minutes from their place. I stayed there once before, and it's really comfy. And I'm thinking, yeah, I want to get down there, spend a couple of nights, and go out to dinner with my brother-in-law and my sis. We just don't get to see each other enough. But after this is all done and said, and I'm on my road to several more years, and I want to get together with certain folk. She said it's punky wood. Yeah. It's punky, soft and wet. Shit, that's terrible. That's terrible. To talk like that, cheesehead. Shame on you. Yeah, about 20 minutes. We'll wrap this up. Something I hadn't experienced for almost a full year. The hangries, man. I can't believe that I actually want to eat. I feel like eating, and I crave certain things, and I'm going to get real brave after I heal up from my process on Wednesday. Sometime this weekend, I'm hoping. I want a smothered burrito, man. I want a burrito with all the fixings and just smothered in salsa. And yeah. Metal music. Yeah. The almost qualifies me, but I still got both legs. I got one bum one now. I got this sciatic nerve problem in my left leg. Oh, what a son of a bitch that is! I tell you, it doesn't stop me from doing anything, but boy, it hurts like a devil. It burns. It's a combination of pain and burn. It's just rock. Hey, William Bishop, it's good to see you too. Yep. Yeah, Sty's definitely having a good day today. Good night tonight. Good group of folks here tonight. There's always a good group of folks here. We don't get wrong, guys. I could run up some canned venison and have it with mashed potatoes and noodles. Oh my lord. Cheesehead, I was going to give you a call last week. Was it Wednesday, Running Water, that I had that appointment? No, Thursday. I had to go to Rice Lake there, Cheesehead, to the down to Marshfield Hospital to have a PET scan done. And they almost had to cancel it on me. And I figured if they cancel it, my appointment was at 11:45, and I figured if they cancel it, I'm going to give you a call right away before I even leave the parking lot and see if you were available, and that we'd meet up in Hayward there, maybe have a bite to eat. And no, they got me in, and they got the PET scan done, and I didn't get out of there until after 2:00. So then I got home back to Ashland a little after 6. Had to go to the cancer center, had to run out to Walmart, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get back into the house here until 6:30, 7:00. But yeah, it was close. Or I was going to give you a jingle, see if you were available at all. If they had canceled on me, because I would have been back. Up that way. Had to run through Hayward twice. I'll give you a jingle. can I call you tomorrow, but during the day sometime? It'd be tomorrow afternoon. I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, 2 hours long. The appointment's at about 10 o'clock, so early afternoon. Give you a jingle, and we'll have to meet up, man. We'll have to meet up. John says, okay, I'll be there, Chris. Canned venison. You got to be careful. Sounds good there, she said. Sounds good. I'll give you a jingle tomorrow afternoon. Oh, no way. We need a foot-long hot dog with mac and cheese on top. Now, I still have to be a little careful of what I eat. Wednesday, I'm booked the whole damn day. That's a nobody can get in the way kind of day because I'm having a surgical procedure done up in Duluth. But at least it's outpatient, so I'll be home Wednesday night. And so that should work out. That should work out pretty good. Thursday, I should be pretty well back to myself, you know. I know some people are saying, oh, shucks, he's going to be back to himself. Shut up, running water.
No comment.
No comment. Yeah, you just did. Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. Well, that's guilty all over it. I always loved that, you know. I plead the fifth. I refuse to incriminate myself. Oh, so in other words, whatever you know, you would incriminate yourself. So you're guilty as shit, aren't you? He kind of said it without saying it, you know? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just have to figure out where we could have lunch, man. We'll just have to figure out where we're going to have lunch. Hey, Anthony Bressler just came in the house. Good to see you there, Anthony. And it is a good evening. It is a good evening. It's great to be on here with you folks tonight. A whole week without a live stream, and you know, it was last Sunday, and this week I don't know if I'll be able to do a Thursday night or not. We'll see what happens, but I guarantee another Sty Story Sunday, man. Guarantee. Whoa.
Yeah, come over. No, so I'm on I-70 now, west of Columbus, heading towards Indiana. Come over one of the swells. There's about a dozen deer out on the road, and I just threaded the needle, and a couple cars behind me clipped deer.
Oh boy!
It's like, yeah, it's just.
I always feel better looking in the rearview mirror and going, "Whoa! Thank God that's not me." I used to have that problem when I was driving over the road in Pennsylvania all the time. Those little puppies they call deer over there in PA, and all of a sudden there'd be 30 of them damn things standing in the interstate, and it just whoa, 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 and you get through and you go, I don't know if the trailer axles caught any of them, but at least the tractor didn't hit any, you know. Hey, scrapping together. Great to see ya. Great to see ya.
Well, I gotta say, that's one thing I like running flatbed versus when I used to run, the big box van trailers. Is I don't have that dangling airline.
Yeah.
That's where the deer would get me was when I go over them and they bounce around and rip those airlines out.
Yep, they get hung up in that damn airline. Yep.
Yeah.
You're talking about the one that run underneath the length of the trailer.
Yeah, that umbilical one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where, flatbed, they assume that we're going to be delivering out in some cornfield somewhere, off-roading and dealing with brush and
see, that's
terrain,
one thing. So. That's one thing I like running with Weather Shield. All of that undercarriage line was all strapped in tight underneath the belly, because we were typically tugging those trailers full of windows into construction sites way the hell out in the middle of nowhere. And so many times you get a damn trailer buried right up to the frame, And so they strapped all of our airlines, everything right up under the belly tight, And that was nice. That was nice because I seen a lot of trucks losing those lines, getting deer hung up under them, and yeah.
And I've had a few times where deer comes bolting out of the ditch and they miss the tractor. They don't hit the truck, but they go underneath that trailer.
Yeah.
Yep. Hamburger on my mud flaps now.
Yeah. The worst I ever seen was out in Wyoming. I was running between Casper and was it Green River? Yeah. Running from Casper, kind of heading southwest of the interstate. Okay. It's a 2-lane state highway, and it's hilly, rolly, and it's all open range. There was a propane rigging ahead of me, and he's like 42-foot tank on there. And he is just a smart ass. He come blowing past my rig. And I told him I'd slow her down a bit. I'm on the radio with him. I told him I'd slow her down a bit, man. And you never know. You come up over one of these rises, because it's just hillier than shit, up and down, up and down. I said, some of these rises, you come over the top and there'll be a bunch of damn cattle standing in the middle of the damn road. Oh, I've driven this for years, blah, 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 blah. Well, we're coming up to this rise and he's heading up that bugger. He comes over the top of it and I lost sight of him. And all of a sudden I hear him on the radio, Weather Shield, back out of it, coming over that rise, back out of it. And then he was quiet. And I come up over that rise. I backed out of it down to about 50 miles an hour. And I come up over the top. Holy Jesus, I seen these white balls in the air. That son of a bitch hit a big flock of sheep. And he had sheep all balled up in his, he's got quarter fenders over his drivers and on the trailer. They're just the big sheet metal fenders, He had sheep balled up in the drivers and the trailer tires up under those quarter fenders. He had sheep wrapped around his drive shaft. I'd never seen such a mess in my life. But I pulled over. I wasn't in a hurry, so I had all the time in the world. So I stopped to see if I could help him out a bit. And after getting up by his truck, I said, "Hey, helping you do nothing." That poor guy with a hunting knife he had with him and a crowbar, he's cutting sheep and prying them out from between his dualies and out of the quarter fenders. The ones around the drive shaft were a real bitch. He had to cut them sheep and use the crowbar to break the bones to get them from around that drive. He had like 3 sheep wrapped around his drive shaft. He had 2 of them.
Candy.
Yeah, and he had 2 of them shoved up under the front axle, pressed up in the engine compartment. I mean, well, how the hell do you get them out of it? You got to gut them and cut them and break them and drag them out. Oh, that guy was just blood from his shoulders down. I mean, well, he's out there trying to get these sheep out from under his truck. And all of a sudden, here comes 2 pickup trucks and one very pissed off sheep herder. And then here comes 2 sheriff's rigs. Oh, the fine was to die for. They estimated his fine was going to be about $1,800, and it was going to cost them about $500 per head that he killed. And when I left, they had counted 18 dead sheep at $500 a piece. And the problem is in the state of Wyoming, those herd animals, they have the right of way. They got the right of way, man. That's like running somebody over in a crosswalk. Yeah. Hey, John, you have a good day at work tomorrow. Thanks, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, it was a terrible mess. I told him, watch it coming off these rises, man. You don't want to be capping over the top one of those rises doing 70 miles an hour. No. But I couldn't believe it. I think, as I recall it, there was 6 or 8 of them that were in the air when I come over the top. They're flying in the air. There ain't nothing like flying sheep, man. Yeah. Almost put me to sleep counting sheep, you know.
Well, it's out there, Wyoming. That's over on the western end. You know, all out before you start getting back into the mountains. You know, you got that nice flat. You know, you got all kinds of deer and antelopes and a little bit of everything out there. Yeah, I caught an antelope on load. Bunch of them come zipping across the road. It's like, okay, yep, they did hit me. And I hear the thump. It's like, oh, they hit the trailer. Well, it's on down the road. I pull into the port of entry, and they told me to pull around.
He was on the trailer?
He jumped up in front of the big old stack of angle iron I'm hauling.
And he's stuck there?
Stuck there on the front of the load.
Now, we did something. I don't know if you ever seen this, Ron Water, but that was out in Wyoming. I pulled into a rest area, right? And it was off of a state highway. It wasn't on the interstate. It was off a state highway. Pulled in there, parked, and there's 4 drivers out there. And I have to admit, after they showed me what they were doing, I participated. The damn dumpsters there were full of antelope and squashed jackrabbits. And these squashed jackrabbits, they're flat as a pancake, man. These guys are pulling into that rest area and squishing these jackrabbits, right? Well, they dry up like old cow pies, and the road maintenance guys will come through every, once a week, and they shovel up all these jackrabbits, and they throw them in the dumpster. Well, they're flat and dried out. They're crispy. They weigh about 2 pounds, but they're flat. And I go, I'm watching these guys. They're throwing something back and forth. I walked over to see what they're doing, and one of them had this big piece of chalk, and he had drawn a couple of circles at the edge of the parking lot. And here, whatever it is they're throwing and trying to get them to land in them circles. And I go, what are you guys doing? And they said, we're playing skipjack. I go, say what? They said, we're playing skipjack. You never heard of that? I said, no, I ain't never heard of it. What's skipjack? And then I realized, each of them got a stack with 4 of these flat jackrabbits. And they said, you want to play? Just go over to the dumpster there and get 4 really nice flat ones and come on over. You can play. I go, what the hell? And they said, if you touch the circle, just touch the edge of it with a jackrabbit, it's worth 2 points. You get one in the circle, it's a 4-pointer. And we played a 20, whatever it was, 25 points or something. I said, say what? Really? And I'm watching these guys and I thought, it actually looks like fun. But I was only one of 2 of us that was smart enough. I went to the truck, got myself a pair of gloves. Them other guys are all they're picking up these old maggot covered freaking flat jackrabbits and throwing them back and forth. But yeah, skipjack. That was pretty fucking interesting.
There's so many critters you come across out here, but the one that gave me the most trouble was an armadillo. Because I learned real quick when they get startled, they can jump a good 4 or 5 feet straight up.
Yeah.
Had one decide to do that just as my bumper passed over him, and he bounced around underneath the hood of my truck, busted up. The blower fan was all shattered.
Oh, jeez.
It's like,
yeah, Justin, they used to call them sail rabbits. Yeah, throw them like frisbees. Yeah, sail rabbits. I had heard that before. But the game they were playing, they called skipjack. Yeah, but those armadillos, I'll never forget. First time I hauled a load down to Texas when I first started driving, and I can't remember what the hell town I was in. It was a truck stop. Yeah, big parking lot, and it was an older mom and pop kind of truck stop. I parked way in the back of the lot. I didn't want to be disturbed by other people, and I couldn't believe it, man. Here's these, it had to have been a half a dozen truckers out there. And they're running all over the damn parking lot out there, making all kinds of noise. I got out of the truck, wondering what in the hell's going on? And here they are chasing this armadillo around the parking lot. And that little bastard, boy, I tell you, they're quicker than a snot. I didn't know they were that fast. And they're chasing that thing around the parking lot, and they're trying to play soccer with it, you know? They kick it. And that every time they kick it, the thing would ball up. And it'd hit the parking lot, and it'd just roll. And then once it would come to a stop, that thing would pop open, and off he'd run and get it. And there'd be a trucker waiting to kick him, you know? And they're torturing that poor damn thing. But I thought, that's funnier than hell. I mean, I saw so many guys take a big kick and miss and land on their ass, you know, because the damn armadillo is quick. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy critters, man. Yeah, you see some weird stuff with them truckers, you know. Hey, Ingalls family, you have a very good night. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Yep. Guys, we're going to be wrapping her up. We've had a 2-hour show tonight. Sty's got to eat. It's 9:00 here, and I'm about 2 hours past my dinner time, and this old boy's got to eat. I gotta gain some more weight. So I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. It was awesome. It was a blast. Look forward to seeing you next week. If I can do it, we'll have Around the Campfire Thursday night. In the event I can't, we will definitely have Sty Story Sunday. Without fail. So, love y'all. I want you to all take care of yourselves. Stay safe until I see you again. You all have a very, very good night. Good night, Running Water.
Night, y'all.
Night, y'all. Bye-bye.